Hey guys, my name is Utsav and I'd like to welcome you all to this new video for Adobe InDesign. And I'm not sure but this might be our last video because I think we've covered most of everything that we need to create a magazine, and that should be enough for now. And I'm gonna upload back to this series again if I find something interesting, or some kind of an update comes up, and that's really helpful for you guys. I'm gonna bring that out to you, but as of now this might be the last video tutorial. I hope you guys learned most of the things. I hope you guys learned most, and I hope you practice too, because the more you practice, the more you get to this software, and you can work more freely. I'll just try to have fun when you're creating projects and everything, and that should be enough. Okay, so today in this video we're just gonna review everything we have done, just talk about it, and maybe try out some tips and tricks. Okay, so there are a lot of shortcuts, right? We're gonna look out at the shortcuts too, because it saves a lot of time and it's easier if you get used to it. It saves a lot of time if you look at it overall. Okay, so first of all, we know the W key. So what does that do? It changes out between the preview mode and the workspace mode. Just make sure you select the document, press W, and it goes out to preview. Press W again, it comes back to workspace. Only the main difference is that I'm going to show you. You have a rectangle outside that has a feel of black. Close it out, and once you go select button, and the only difference is that once you go out to the preview mode, it just shows you the parts of the magazine that have been cut out and the only parts that are remaining. It doesn't show you any type of thing on your workspace. This gray area that's behind the document you have, just think of it as a workspace for you, so you can't see it, right? And if I just unselect the rectangle, you can't even see its outline outside. So that's it with this. And so talking about rectangles, I'm gonna show you a pretty easy trick, and that's gonna be a lot of help. So let's say that sometimes while designing a page, you wanted to make your page look like a chessboard for some reason, or let's say that your document requires a lot of small rectangles. That's the part of its editing part, designing part, and I know that creating those a lot of rectangles one by one, that can be a lot of work. So there's an easy method to create all of those rectangles by yourself. So for that, just make a regular rectangle, drag it down, but don't unclick it, right? You're pressing the left mouse button and you drag it down, but hold it right there, don't unclick that, and press the arrow keys on your keyboard and you see the difference. So I'm just gonna press the up arrow key. So you see that the rectangles, they are getting cut out, they are being divided, but only within the range that you made them to. So you can change them like that and everything, and if you press the down arrow key, they join back together. And the same thing for sideways, the right arrow key, it goes on this way, and the left arrow key, it brings them back together, it joins them. Okay, so now let's make some squares, right? Up arrow key 4 times, okay, this looks fine. Okay, let's give them all a feel of black. Select the selection tool or press V on your keyboard, the shortcut. And you may think that what use do I have this grid like views? But these are not all grids, these are separate objects. Select one, you see this yellow box, use that to drag it across. Select one, you can drag it across like that too, but in some case, let's just say this rectangle, it has no fill, so that way you can't drag it across like that way. You can drag it on the center, but yellow, It's good to remember that sometimes. Okay. Alright, let's give it back its black color. Okay, so this is one of the tips that I want to share with you guys. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is the mouse that you use, because if you guys are on a Mac, you can just use the basic trackpad. That's real easy, because the Mac mousepad is real good. But if you guys are on a PC, I would recommend a wired or a wireless mouse, because I used to work on PC before, and that another mouse is really helpful. I mean, you got the Alt control buttons, the shift buttons, the space bar, and you can use those to grab the document, drag it across. It's a kind of difficult in the Mac, because the Alt buttons, they don't work like they in the PC. But if you use in a PC, I recommend getting a new mouse, because that's way helpful. Okay, so looking back, another helpful tool, another really useful tool that we have, it was this color theme tool right there. That was real helpful too. Just select the color, put in blue. I mean, it's really easy, right? This tool, it's really good to use too. I mean, really well made in my opinion. And what are the tools that we have? Pencil tool is just you draw around, you know, just think of it as a pencil. The only reason that we did not cover it is because it's more of like a freehand drawing if you wanted to do, and that way it's if you wanted to do some kind of illustrations, I would recommend Illustrator, because it's really helpful in that way, and it has a lot of helpful tools for you to create logos and things like that. Okay, so now another point I want to mention is that sometimes you create a logo in Illustrator, right? And Illustrator, you make a logo, you don't use any pictures, but mostly if you don't, your logo, it's going to be a vector style image. So a vector style image means that it doesn't deteriorate its quality. Its quality doesn't go bad even if you zoom in. If you increase the square, it doesn't get bad. It doesn't cuts out the low quality or anything like that. It just increases, right? If you created a logo in Illustrator, you can directly cut it out or copy that and paste it into this document without saving it, without having to import it or anything. So that's really helpful too. Okay, so now another helpful tool that InDesign has is the spelling check tool, because if you're designing a magazine, there's a lot of text, and sometimes when you're typing a lot, there might be a spelling error. So in that case, you can use the spelling tool, and I think it highlights the text that has been wrong, and you can just edit it out easily. I'm going to show that to you right now. Just go to selection tool, T is the shortcut for text, and let's make a text box right here. Give it a feel of black. Okay, that's good. And let's make it a little bit bigger. This is a nice video. I guess I misspelled that intentionally, so I can show you how it works. So go to select tool, go to edit, and in there you're gonna see something called spelling. You click spelling, turn on the dynamic spelling, and it shows you this. So the red line, that's for the spelling error, so just double click that and you see the red line goes away, and this green line is for pronoun or something like a grammatical error, I believe. Okay, and press T. Okay, so this is fixed. A really helpful tool, because you can't go through each, the magazines, they have a lot of pages, and you can go through each of them manually, right? It's better you go through them, but this way it becomes a lot easier. Okay, so now moving on, I'm gonna introduce you to a new type of tool. It's not kind of new. We used it before. It's called alignment tool, right? It's not really a tool. It's kind of the feature of Adobe products, Adobe Suite. So we used the alignment feature when we were, making our text, making our paragraph spaces, when we were trying to keep them all in order. So it's the same thing, but you can make use that too for objects too. So for that, go to window. Just make sure you have the document selected first, my bad. Go to window, look for something called objects and layout. Inside there it should be an option called align. Bring it out, and let's say that we want this all to be in the center. So for that, what do? Select this all, and you see this align horizontal centers. They all come to the center of the document. It's really easy. It's a really helpful tool. I mean, you don't gotta really use it, but sometimes let's say that you want them to be in a straight line and it just moves around, right? I mean, if you put it manually, that's okay, but you're never sure. You gotta use the keyboard buttons and everything. So this way it's really easy. Okay, so I think this is it for this video. I hope you guys practice it properly. I mean, you gotta give it some time. Just doing everything mentioned in the video, that's not gonna be that helpful. I mean, you're gonna learn, get some knowledge regarding this, but you're not gonna be perfect. So if you want to be perfect, you gotta practice. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to the UNMIT department, and they can set you up with a student technician who can help you regarding the problem that you have. All right. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day.